Hey, what's going on YouTube? Silver Surfer coming at you again here. This time with another pickup that I want to share with y'all. Without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about it here. So, as you guys can see, this is a 1995 Civil War 50-cent piece, commemorative. It is graded by NGC and proof 69 Ultra Cameo. It's a clad version coin. There is no silver editions minted for this coin here. And on the obverse, it's got a Civil War drummer boy. So this coin was minted to help celebrate, or not celebrate, but help to aid in the preservation of Civil War sites. So pretty neat indeed. As I mentioned again, you guys have on the obverse, it's the drummer boy here. And like I talked about in my prior proof video, my quarters, the bicentennial quarter that has the colonial drummer boy. Very, very fascinating stories indeed on these drummer boys here. For starters, many of them were just kids, teenage years, which allowed them to help come into the war. They were both in the North and South during the Civil War days. Both armies had them. And, their importance within the war effort was significant. Not only were they brave and courageous, literally marching into battle alongside their brothers with a drum and some sticks there, as you can see, no weaponry. They did a lot of important things, such as the beating of the drum was there to keep cadence for their marches. It was also there to a certain type of rudiment drum beat was produced. They had to learn these different types of things. That was let the troops know like what type of attack and how to proceed forward within the battle. If they're going to send horses in, or if they're lining up to fire a shot, or if they're flanking. And so there's just a ton of different war tactics that was done, or that these guys beat it on their drum, that let everybody know, within ranks of what exactly to do next. So pretty fascinating indeed. Very, very important role. You think about being on the battlefield with muskets going off all around you, people yelling, screaming, individuals getting wounded, and it's difficult to hear, the orders that are coming from your NCOs and officers. And so these guys were a way to actually, beat to the drum a certain rudiment, if you would, that allowed everyone else to know what the heck was the next step. So very, very important job. Fascinating that these young, courageous boys, if you would, joined and performed this. It just blows my mind that that's the case. Very, very cool story. I highly recommend, I'll show you guys the reverse here, to check out is the Johnny Clem story. So this young boy in Ohio tried to join when he was 9 years old, the Ohio Army. Was denied because of his age, ended up trying to join the Michigan Army, 22nd Michigan Army. They too denied him. However, eventually he was able to just tag along. And the story goes is that, again, he was 9 years old as the drummer boy. So that's just fascinating. I mean, think of you all out there that have 9-year-old boys and you want them in the stinking Civil War battlefield. That's just amazing to me. By 12, he became a lance sergeant for the Union Army, and he ended up serving a very illustrious career in the military all the way up into the 19s, in which he reached his 64th year of age, and they were forced to retire him at that point. He was the oldest veteran of the Civil War that was still active military, and ended up retiring from there as a one-star general. Then eventually they promoted him to Major General afterwards. So just a fascinating story about this young man and his military career that he had. And again, just blows my mind that a 9-year-old boy is out there on the battlefield. I mean, I don't have kids, but I couldn't imagine having a young boy and sending him to battle like that. I think his mom was actually killed early on. So I think it was just him and his father. But regardless, it's just pretty fascinating. So check that story out if you guys haven't or don't know about it. Mr. Johnny Clem. Pretty cool story. Sorry about the shakiness here, but really, really love this coin. It is a cool one indeed. Happy to have it in my collection. And set that down there. I've already showed this in another video. Old Honest Abe. This is also a commemorative coin. But just look at the two of those guys right there. How cool is that, huh? How cool is that? So, lots of history going on there. Love the Civil War history. It's very, very bloody battles that we had during that time. Our country was highly divisive. Kind of makes you think about today's day and age, what we got going on a lot in the world. So, and nonetheless within our own country. But anyways, I don't want to let this movie go on too long. Just wanted to share with you guys my latest pickup. Hope you all enjoyed, and let me know what you guys think about below. Silver Surfer out.